I am at Sasakun Gym in Bangkok. This is Chatchai's gym, and he's actually going to be moving at the end of this month, but I actually really like this gym. It's the first gym that I ever met him at. It's the first gym that I ever trained with Karuhat at, but that was upstairs. And today I'm training, I just finished training with Chatchai, and then I'll be training with Karuhat when he gets here in about like 20 minutes. But the, I've got shaky hand. Can you hold it? Kevin's gonna hold it, because I'm like this. But I just finished with Chatchai, and this is my second day of doing this. So we came to Bangkok to do a couple of days of like intensive training. So it's Karuhat, Chatchai first thing in the morning, then Karuhat, and then in the evenings we're going over to Duuglas-Ittu gym, which is where the national team trains. And Ajahn Surat is scary and wonderful in like completely equal measure. But it's interesting because I've never trained with Chatchai like twice in a row. I've had, I don't know, maybe like 10 lessons with him overall, or maybe 8 or something like that. But it feels really good because I had this breakthrough in going Southpaw really recently, where now I feel like that's my stance. Like I default into it and I'm more comfortable. And I haven't seen him in a couple of months, but I've been working really hard on his, like, not hard, I've been working really steadily on his, like, not breaking the frame and, like, weight transfer and balance. And I feel it really well in my body. And so when I came here yesterday and was, you know, doing his technique from a southpaw position, he was just like, yeah, like that works now. And so I feel like the micro tuning that's going on from yesterday and today, the thing that I love so much about Chatchai is that he's like so foundational and basic that is not boring. It's like making sure that the chassis of your car works or something. Like it's very like structurally sound, and because of that it feels good, and it makes anything else you put on top of it feel stable. So yesterday and today, being able to make really small adjustments, and like yesterday, in order to kind of like straighten out and get my shoulders to really turn, he had me bringing my fist actually like out in order to tuck the elbow in. You do not stand like this, but you do this to train your body so that when you come around, you're doing this like, it comes from out to over. So he teaches you by feeling. He's like, it's gonna feel like this, even though you're not gonna do that. Which actually Master K used to do. He used to have me do this crazy like rock back leaning thing in order to force my hips forward because I'm a farang and I can't use my hips before. And so similar, it's the way that I first started learning, but I can totally feel what he's talking about with this outside thing. So yesterday when I was at Duuglas-Ittu gym in the afternoon, I was shadowing around and I kept, you know, focusing on bringing that hand out on both sides so that when it came through, it was making this feeling and angle. I'm sure I looked like a total crazy person, but when I came in this morning, the one who showed me that, he was like, yes, 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 your jab looks amazing, that's really good. So we just worked on my cross a little bit more. It's been really interesting, the things that I discovered in training with him on the mitts yesterday is that like if I try to hit the focus mitt, it messes up my form. Whereas if I'm like just shadow box, because that's what I actually train so much with this, if I don't think about hitting the target, if I just go by the feeling, I'll hit it. Like you're just like fist, face kind of thing. And I think that if Chatchai could be boiled down to one thing in terms of like what he says, it's feeling. Like he wants everything to be feeling. So you like use the mirror to make adjustments so that you can see how, like, if you're coming out of your frame or something, but you need to be able to feel it. And I had a really hard time yesterday at Duuglas-Ittu. I was boxing sparring against a condor. He's very tall and very long, and I didn't think I did really well. Kevin thought I did really great. But it was basically that all of the things that I had just worked on were not accessible to me. And that made me really frustrated, but that's because I was doing exactly what I realized yesterday I shouldn't do, which is this targeting thing, instead of just do those motions with that person in front of you. And the times that I did hit that kid, I hit him with combinations. Like, I hit him like 3 or 4 times, but it's when I would actually come in. And it's because I was like leaping in to close the space and then doing these things that I know how they feel. So that's something to work on. But going from yesterday's experience and then having that experience in the afternoon and then coming back and working with Chatchai again and being able to talk to him about it, it's pretty incredible. It's really cool. He's such a good teacher. And I feel like the realizations I'm having, and because I can feel them and so I can self-correct them, they're allowing me to like double down on these things that for a really long time I've kind of suspected or been like, yeah, that's important, but I don't actually do it. And now I'm like, actually do it kind of thing. So now I'm gonna go with Karuhat again yesterday morning. Amazing session with him. And I've been working on the things that he showed me yesterday. I'm working on his forward block. And he watched my last fight and said that I was using it coming forward too much, that I should use it more going backwards, because when you're coming forward, just actually kick. So I'm like faking all the time instead of kicking at times when that fake could have been real. But he also showed me how to use that forward check in order to get into the clinch. So I'm using it as my clinch entry as of yesterday. And that's been slightly successful. I had really, really fun clinching yesterday, and I didn't focus super heavily on that, but it's definitely something I'll be integrating. But going from the basic get your super grounding to Karuhat's like just be completely loose and confident, because I feel like actually Karuhat and Chatchai complement each other really, really well, but they're not the same. It's a really interesting way to kind of fill out different sides of my fighting. Like, they complement each other really well for me. Like, I don't know if they would be too contrasty for other people, but I think they're absolutely incredible as a combination. It's like peanut butter and chocolate. Hungry. Yeah, so that's my update for today. I have one more tomorrow morning with these two, so it'll be like, today's awesome that I get to see what it's like to do it twice, and then we'll see what it's like to do it 3 times. I'm incredibly sore. My hands hurt, but in a really good way, like not in a I damaged them way, but in a like, you are a dangerous fisticuff machine.